Let's talk about love. And we have the gang all here. Many know from the tour of love this group of amazing people, buddies, leadership, volunteers, all of the above, my friends. We have to my left, of course, our senior ambassador, Carol Brown-Berzins of the CB4L organization. Below her, we have to my corner there, we have Dani Rocco, known as Coach Dani. Typically, now let's just say Carol is from Canada. Dani is typically from the East Coast, however, is joining us from the sunshine. We'll let her explain where. And then down below, we have Poe. Poe is back. Everybody is so excited, showing back up from the holler. So welcome, everyone. So excited that we are joining together on a Sunday morning. And I don't know about you guys, but I grabbed my coffee cup full of a little bit of something special called water. And Palomi out of India. So glad you're with us today, my dear. So exciting. And we are live on E360 TV, and Poe's got his tour of love mug. And so let's how is everybody going? Now I'm going to go straight to Dani, because Dani, you're in the sunshine out there, and oh my goodness, it looks like blue skies are clear and right above you. Where are you today?
I am in, this is like my happy place. This is where I come when I need to recharge and just like fuel my soul. We all need that. So I'm in the beautiful Mesa, Arizona today.
Mesa, Arizona. Wow. And you got to say, that looks beautiful. I would have, it almost looks like you've got an orange tree behind you. And I would have said maybe Southern California, or in Arizona is your happy place. Explain a little bit more. What is so happy to you about Arizona?
So my brother is my best friend. We had a business together. We worked together. And a couple of years ago, we left our business and kind of just started developing our own and he moved to Arizona. And with him, a little piece of my heart went. His wife, my two nieces, and now my youngest son is out here going to college, competing at ASU in the gymnastics team. Go Sun Devils. So yeah, so things, and my older boy is kind of moving out this way to start his veteran, project. So yeah, it's being pulled. It's calling me.
I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to recognize you for joining us on the Tour of Love, the 36-hour event that we had. In fact, I am going to pull up an image because in fact, we're going to invite you back with us to be a part of this, and maybe even share some clips from that time. You spent the hour with the legendary English rocker Gary Miller, who has produced and actually founded Rock Against Trafficking and has produced many of the top rockers out there. What was it like to share the hour with him?
Oh, well, first of all, I love Gary. I love his voice. I love our interaction, our banter. And he's just full of so many stories. I'm such a visual person, and I love hearing about people's life. Like, how did they get to where they are, and what thoughts go through their mind to, make that happen? So having him share those, and me getting to ask whatever question I wanted to dig that, I was in heaven.
and we did get to at least preview one of the songs that he did, which they did for Rock Against Trafficking. He did a lot of the Sting and car songs. And what was that like for you also as an interviewer, as someone that has, you've interviewed so many people throughout the United States, and if not the world. I know you've been with some of the top people out there. How did that feel to just get to like do the groovy, if you will?
It's almost like gives you this surreal. I get so wrapped up in the person that when I look back, I'm like, that was pretty cool. Like, wow. But in the moment, I'm so in the moment when I'm talking and with people, because I just want to capture every little bit of their energy. I'm like an energy hog. I just love it. So in the moment, I just jam with it. But afterwards, I look back, I'm like, man, that was darn special.
And I have to say thank you for that, because it was all about bringing the awareness to what it is that the Tour of Love sponsors and is really out here doing. And number one, and that is to raise the frequency of the world through love. And really then number two, or piggybacked upon each other, because they do go hand in glove, and that is to help to change the way that cancer is done throughout the world, because we can make a difference with healing through connection. And you were able to really tap into that with the music, healing through helping with big subject matter, and how in healing in those areas, then we won't necessarily be facing what it is that we're facing with cancer, right?
Yeah, I mean, we always need, because that's my jam, right? I'm all about leading with love. And when you can look at somebody or even yourself and feel them, like really feel what you're feeling, it does bring you into a different vibration. But it's sometimes, because we're humans, we need a little help. So that hearing, of a song that meant something to you in your life, it pulls you back to that moment, and then it helps you. It's like a tool, right? It helps you kind of come to a different level of where you are out of that icky place. So music is so powerful. So to be able to chat with Gary, who actually creates that, is it's one of a kind, I think, experience for me.
Well, thank you for coming with us today on the journey here at the Tour of Love, and sharing some of your thoughts. We're going to have you back, and we're going to dive deeper into those experiences. And anybody that wants to see what we're talking about, we do have all of the hours of the Tour of Love on the YouTube channel that you can go and experience, and go look it up and go see what she's talking about and share the love. I want to say thank you for being with us today. And guys, be watching. We're going to have her back. Grab another mug on another day and get ready to see Dani Rocco once again, and we will dive further in. Who knows? Maybe we'll even see if we can get Gary back in.
Oh, a little part two.
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's make that happen. Okay. Challenges on Gary.
It's wonderful to see you, Dani, and I hope to stay in touch. Where can we find you? I'm not on Facebook or Instagram anymore. Is there? But where can people find you?
So if you just go to my website, Dani Rocco, it has all my links. So all my interviews where I talk love and life. It's on my YouTube channel. That's up there. LinkedIn. You can easy. DaniRocco.com. Click your choice.
Click your choice. I love it. Just like as your name is spelled. DaniRocco.com.
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so very much. Enjoy your happy place there in Arizona, and we will be seeing you soon here on the Tour of Love.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right. That was fun.
Great to see her again. Yeah, she stays busy, not quite as busy as you, or who knows, maybe so, because you guys both burn the candle at both ends.
And when you have purpose and passion and a purpose and a reason to be showing up, to every day. I will say Carol is right there with me. You know, everything that I've been doing lately, she's right there helping too. I want to say thank you to Carol for that. And so Poe is also known as, many people know you. I'm going to let you give that up if you want to. Other people know you as what? Who?
Well, Skip Thomas is, of course, who I was in a previous life. Last year, no, my that's who I am. But Poe came from a name that my granddaughter gave me because when my daughter asked me, "What do you want to be called? You're going to have your first grandchild." Um, and she said, like, Grandpa, Papa. I said, "Oh, heck no, those sound like old people. I want something fun, like Barney." And she says, "Well," and she says, "Well, like you want to be called Barney?" I said, "No, but something fun." And she said, "Like what?" And I said, "How about Skippo?" And because Skip Thomas was my name, so she said, "Okay, great." Well, I didn't realize the 2-year-old couldn't say Skippo, so she just started calling me Poe. And in my RV, she calls it Poe's Car House. And so I decided I'd develop a whole character, and I did some children's songs, and I'm working on some other creative stuff under a character or a new identity called Poe. And so yeah, it's fun.
And Spencer Rose, Trapper Rose, so glad you're with us out of the greater Chicagoland area. He loves the hat. I know, it's cool, huh? And did you notice two different hats? He's got cool hats.
Yep, that's a very. So I looked and I thought, I was always fascinated with Nikola Tesla, a lot of the old stuff, and some of the old movies like Back to the Future, Gone to the Center, Travel to the Center of the Earth, and the to 20,000 Leagues Beneath the Sea, and things like that, and Zeppelins and steam engines, and I didn't realize there was a whole movement and conventions and there were bands. If you go on Spotify, you can find a whole thing under steampunk, which I'd never heard of. Well, once I realized, I thought, well, I can't. If I'm going to be Poe, I might as well be steampunk Poe. And so I created. I've got hats and I've got outfits and gloves and goggles and long tail tuxedo looking things, and I've got a new guitar that is very steampunk. I mean, very metal looking, and it's very fun. And so yeah, it's a kind of a new identity of something fun I'm creating for this year and to develop. And so as a fun character to bring things kind of in an edutainment way. There's a lot of great people and journalists and podcasts and people doing things out there online, but I thought, okay, why duplicate that? What can Poe be? Steampunk Poe with the music and the film. And so I've got original songs and videos and things I'm working. I've got standalone art performance kind of things with wireless video projectors and screens and big sound systems that run totally on battery, so I could set up anywhere. And so this year, as I've now recovered from COVID, which was we talked about before we came on live this year, as you know, part of the buddy group from back before there was even a nonprofit with all you folks, because I'm a cancer survivor of 10 years and some other things in life. And I thought, okay, well, I survived that. Now what? And so this is something exciting for 2021.
Well, and in fact, we play, and I want to recognize Carol. Carol has been so quiet there and being so wonderful. And thank you for all that you do, Carol, as our senior ambassador, one of our senior ambassadors for the Buddies. You're there in Canada. You do so much for this organization. And we're going to talk after this video, because you guys are going to now recognize the voice, because this is the video that we share all the time at the beginning of the show, and so that people understand why we have the Tour of the Love. The Tour of Love really does, it is all about shining the light that we can change the frequency of our world through love, and that right now there is, many people call it an epidemic, and they call it by another name than what we do. And we all know within the Buddy Network that right now a lot of people have faced cancer, and we can actually change a lot of the numbers that are being projected over the next 10 years, that if we do nothing, the numbers are going to skyrocket, and they already have been. However, that doesn't have to happen, and that's going to be our discussion today. And through one word with 4 letters, love. It is a huge, huge healing uh, uh, power. It's a power, and we have Poe that's going to be able to talk about it, and he has educated us within the closed group that we have for this organization. So here is a clip that Poe created, and listen to the voice.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been shown that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Chemo Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a Chemo Buddy for life.
We are a Buddies Network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are Chemo Buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
So yes, you created that video, and thank you for that, Poe. And we do have Melissa. Melissa, it's good that you're with us, and she is. I love it. The conversation is taking place. And hello, Martin. And wonderful that everybody is here. Happy Sunday morning for those on the West Coast. Happy midday for you on the East Coast, and those that are in other areas of the world, such as Palome in India and others. Welcome, Poe.
Skippo.
Yeah, I know.
Skippo. You almost said Skippo.
Skippo. Yes, Skippo. There you go. The original name. You mentioned it. You've known about this organization since before we really became a 501c3. That is cb4l.org, and you jumped on board, and your story is such that you now are, and you mentioned it, you're a 10-year cancer survivor.
Yes, I 10 years and about 7-8 months, or 6 months. Yeah, it was in June, 10 years ago, last June. I was in Arizona, and and I've been a documentary filmmaker for my entire career, and for 40 years, or more. And I was told normally I do a lot of films and stuff about cancer and healing and so forth, but suddenly one day I had some bad symptoms, and went in, and the doctor told me, he said, you've got cancer. And so I had to go through, I was 1,200 miles away from any family members, and I had to really go through, actually that video right there, that trailer called Sacred Journey of the Heart you brought up. I was in the middle of filming, and I actually went to the directors, and that was me, and I just basically said, I'm going to have to step away from this project. You're going to have to bring in another director for this film. It's on Gaia TV now, and it's really about how science of the heart is proving that our spiritual and our vibrations our frequencies, and what the elders and a lot of spiritual traditions have known for centuries is actually correct. And science is now proving it, which relates to healing. And so I'm not an expert on anything. I just know how to point a camera and edit some things and get with some people that have a lot of knowledge. And so that was a part of my healing, and being with people out in Sedona, that made a huge, huge difference. That was me in Glastonbury, England back then, 10 years ago. And but so what we're talking about, and at this time, it doesn't matter what you're going through. I mean, I went through COVID just right before Christmas, and that was intense, and came out the other side. I've had some other things throughout my life. And the power of frequency. You've got a great story of somebody who's part of your team who was stage 4, and through that thing called love, that vibrational interaction of this community of buddies, and really shifted what physical medicine cannot possibly do. And we're understanding the power that we have as human beings, as spiritual beings, and that, I don't mean that in a religious sense. You can take it that way, but we have a power within ourselves that I think we're just starting to tap into, and a lot of things that are shifting on this planet. I was part of the indigenous, where the Mayans, a 13th generation Mayan, was calling the end of the Mayan calendar in 2009, and about 130 different indigenous tribes came to Sedona and the Grand Canyon, and I filmed for 20 days about 300 hours of interviews and prophecies from all these spiritual leaders from Tibet and the Amazon and Africa, that talks about this shift that we are experiencing right now, and it is a frequency shift. And this tour of love and the power and the vibration of love is critical. That graph right there, when I first saw it, and it was the reason, actually, part of the reason why I moved to Sedona in 2004, I was really having kind of a dark night of like, what's going on? Why am I here? And I listened to Wayne Dyer, and he talked about a guy named David Hawkins I'd never heard of in a book called Power versus Force. And it was the best book he ever read, so I bought it. And in that book was this graph. And as you look down in the lower areas, and I can't see it on my phone, but you get into the lower frequencies, and at about 200, you kind of hit the kind of neutral area. And then above that, you start moving up with gratitude and bliss and joy, and love is at 500, and you can keep going up that frequency scale. What is happening in the world is a big shift, and it's a consciousness shift or a frequency. We're learning that biology, with a lot of these people I worked with, we're not chemical reactions or biological cells. Everything is vibration, frequency, and so, I mean, everything, including us. And so for us to be able to tap into that and be at those higher frequencies not only affects us and our own personal well-being, but all those around us. And you can feel it. I mean, you know it when you walk into a room or you're around people.
It's just like what Carol has behind her with the healing through art and healing through, the different frequencies of healing through nature, healing through music, healing through love. All of these, they all have some kind of a frequency. I mean, when I'm looking, and in fact, I love what it was said by Melissa when she was talking about Carol. You look like an angel. Well, she's got the white there and that, frequency of color. You've got the colors and the art and the butterflies and all of that right now behind her. And that is what is being, frequency, that energy is going out. Melissa feels it. She shares it. shares it back and says, you look like an angel. Right there, that is exactly what you're explaining, right?
And Carol, yeah, I'd love to hear, because I mean, I remember you not willing to go on camera not long ago, and intimidated by some of the how to film certain things, and now you've taken a real leadership role. You're hosting, and you can see it, even though we're not in the same room. You can feel a shift. How has that, what we talked about, kind of evolved in your evolution in these last 3 years, and your well-being and your confidence and those around you?
I've been working on myself a lot. I had to do a lot of soul searching with myself, finding what my happy place is, working on my peace within myself. And I'm also doing a 30-day gratitude. So I found peace within myself. I've also, I would say, I found courage within myself. That,
yep.
Which is, and accepting myself and not allowing other people or other things enter into my mind. And also, working with Tamara. Tamara's really been really supportive to me, and has me, look at the way I'm speaking, look at the way I'm talking, So she's been a really good teacher, in helping me get through some of the things too.
Beautiful.
Right. Well, right, because we go into that whole exercise that we talk about in the closed group. And, I'm going to reference it in that we don't share what is said in there by our buddies. However, we have for the last year been having a lot of education, a lot of people come in and teaching us. And actually, Poe has taught us so much because of those that have taught him the filming. I mean, you edit, you hear things over and over and over, and it's going to absorb into your DNA somehow, somewhere. It's somewhere, it's going to bridge somewhere. It's going to have somewhere to recall. And what I have been is helping with what I've been learning through the closed group, and you've been there too. And it's a matter of jointly together saying, okay, remember this person, they were talking about the power of words. Remember this person, they were sharing that if we really think about, it's what our thoughts are, even internally, are going to have something to do with that frequency level. And, what I want to do, we are at the bottom of the hour, and I want to recognize that we here at the Tour of Love actually have sponsors. And we want to say and share the love with one of our sponsors. And we're going to share their commercial right now, and then share the love and say thank you for being a part of the Tour of Love. So let's do that right now, and then come back and continue this discussion. We want to say thank you to Grow Together, Ray Ann Gardner, Tony Eminetti, and Aaron Houchin, together with 30 years combined experience. They are helping entrepreneurs that want to be able to have leads and what they call guaranteed leads to be able to go and so that they can go do what they do best, and that is run their businesses and work with a team of experts that are going to help them in areas that they need help. So we want to, at the Tour of Love, say thank you for your continued support. They are amazing. They're also volunteers that have done a lot of. Tony has built CB4L.org originally, and I want to say thank you to him for that.
Yes,
Aaron has helped with much of setting up a lot of the processes and the branding. So a lot of what you see with both CB4L.org and the Tour of Love are evidenced by what it is that they do combined for their business grow together. So again, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
So we were talking about Carol and her growth and how in this last year there has been a tremendous amount of growth in that frequency upside down pie chart too. So why don't we continue that as we continue to talk about the frequency of love? Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question that add on to this question to you, Carol, because there are times where you've had some moments where you have been in that upper, maybe even above the neutral place, where you're moving up that scale toward love. And for a lot of people, and a lot of people say, well, the tour of love and be at the frequency of love all sounds good, but if you're way down there in guilt and depression and despair and some of those low frequencies, you can't just jump or flip a switch and all of a sudden be at love. I mean, even I think on that chart, and I can't see it, but anger, if you get angry and start to get some emotions moving and courage, and pretty soon you're moving your way up that scale, that's how you end up at love and even higher frequencies. Can you, with what you went through, Carol, explain, because I know there's been times where it's been tough, but you've worked your way up that scale, and you can't just flip the switch, can you?
No, you can't switch the switch. It took a lot of me working on myself, hanging out with, like, being around more positive people, closing my mouth and listening to things that come my way. I remember when I had the conversation with you and I was panicking about going live and doing the Tour of Love, not last year, but the year before. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to set this all up? Oh my God, I'm panicking because I was in Canada doing this myself. I didn't have a team.
Complex. It was a complex shoot.
So it was, Skip, how am I going to put all these cables together? How am I going to run this? And I'm like, I need your help. I need your help. And it was like a panic situation. But from that time to now, it's putting myself away from negative situations and growing within myself, but also listening to other people that bring positive feed, that I now listen to what's coming my way. So it took a lot of work, and I'm going to tell you, I mean, I've been with the organization now for volunteering for over 2 years now, and it was difficult at the beginning because I came in at the lower scale of this funnel, and it was guilt, shame, angry, fear of even being on camera. But then when it comes to challenges, it's being challenged by other people. If you do it, I'll do it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, kind of thing. But then it was like, all right, I got challenged by somebody to go live and do a video. Was I scared? Absolutely. How many times did I do it and delete it? Oh, maybe 8, 9 times, because I just didn't feel comfortable. But then I thought, you know what? Here it is. It is what it is. I'm going to put it out there. So I had that challenge with somebody, and I put out the video, and then that person was like, oh my God, she did it. now I got to do it. So it's a growing spurt. It's a lot of work of letting go of things that were holding me back.
That's beautiful, and those a couple things I want to kind of underscore and put in bold that you said that's so beautiful is letting go was a big one, because sometimes we hold on to things, even fear or guilt, things that are old patterns that we've carried with us, kind of on a backpack, of like, well, wait, but I was dropped on my head, as a baby when my mama took me out of the crib, and I've never been okay. It's like, whatever it is. And so letting go was big. And the other thing you said, you closed your mouth and you listened, and which is really so valuable, because it's been great as a documentary film. I mean, Tamara has had dozens, I'll say hundreds, of experts with this Service Heroes and the closed group and the 36-hour, the Give-A-Thons. I mean, hundreds really, I think, of experts. And if you listen and you absorb and have an open mind, and then you start to research some of that stuff, like that frequency thing, or some of the healing with nature, or the animals, or the bowls that Sherry and so. I mean, if you start to research how it's all connected and how powerful it is, now you're going down a pathway that is raising your vibration. And just like when I was told 10 years ago that I had cancer, actually, 10 and a half years ago, my prognosis wasn't good. And so what would immediately set in? Oh my God, fear. Am I going to tell my family? Oh my God, they can't do anything. My kids are going to be worried. It was horrific. But all of a sudden, all that fear, but then I had to turn that to anger almost, to start to move up that scale and start to say, okay, I'm going to get into gratitude, and I'm going to get into love, and I'm going to beat this damn thing. And you hear it over and over and over, like the stage 4 cancer people. When you're told you have stage 4 cancer or heart or COVID, I mean, everybody's scared to death of it. So right now in this, and so I really want to applaud you both, actually, for bringing the tools and the personal experiences, because in the video that you saw earlier, Tamara, your doctor said that, that you see a difference when people have companionship and buddy, and even when you guys developed a buddy in chemotherapy and shifted the energy in the room, it made a difference with the other people. Some of those interviews and people with the doctors said that. So that right there shows you how strong this medicine is. And I want to kind of, in the thought with, right now in this world, we are bombarded with reasons to be fearful. And I saw a meme the other day, like it was 2020 said, well, I sure had pulled off one heck of a year or something, and 2021 said, hold my beer. It was like, it's going to get a little rocky, but things are going to shift, and unified with this type of tour of love, and with this community, and with us coming together with that energy of love, we're getting through this in an amazing way. And that frequency scale of fear and guilt and shame, because so much, if you listen to the medical experts like I did, that said, your odds are not good. And I thought, I'm not listening to that. If you listen to the news, or you listen to a lot of things, there's a lot of fear-based driven information bombarding this. You go to the coffee shop and friends and hear it, my family, my dad, oh my God, I'm 86 years old, I got to get the vaccine or we're going to die. I mean, and I'm like, Dad, calm down. And he's a medical doctor. So it's, so for us right now, in what's happening right now in the next weeks and months, that frequency, that tour, and that word imagine of what can be, because you imagine if you're stage 4, it's hard to imagine I'm going to be well and healthy and that cancer is going to be gone. It's happened with people that are in this group. So that's a tool to listen, to let go of certain things, especially belief systems that are indoctrinated in us, and imagine what's possible. Makes sense?
Makes
Oh yeah.
sense.
Oh yeah. In fact, what I want to share too is that, when you think about Imagine, and I know you love that song, it's one of the ones that you sing, and it's beautiful, and the words to it, and everything. When you think about imagine a world, and so we have been, last year 2020, we declared 2020 to be the year of love, and then shortly into 2020, we declared it to be the decade of love, and thus the Tour of Love, now the Tour of Love show, of which we are bringing out to the world. And, we talk about the closed group, guys. What we have within the nonprofit is we have a safe place. We have a safe place that those that want to be able to share, yet they don't want the whole world to hear what they're saying, that they can come and they can share either on camera or with their fingers by typing what it is that they're experiencing, and having these hundreds of experts, credentialed, licensed, skilled, experienced individuals that are specialists in their area of modality, of specialty, of healing arts, of traditional, alternative, adjunctive, all of the above, that have come in to share that we can through this community see that love can be a healing energy, and then whatever it is that they are teaching can help to bring that energy and that connection and that healing power if we believe. And that's where the upside down cone comes in. There's action that needs to take place. It just doesn't magically happen. It would be great. Imagine a world where magic happened, but we do have Magic Mondays. So, wink, wink. And we also share a tremendous amount of humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a lot of love. And in fact, you, Poe, and Julie Christopher sang a rendition of a song that was written for the Tour of Love, this last one. I have it queued up here. Would love to be able to share it with everyone, because you're actually there in the kind of, not shadow, but in the, explain what you did when you edited the film, because it's beautiful.
Well, she asked, because you had the big produce and all the voices, and that was magnificent. But what Julie said, it would be. She said she'd love, and she's got an amazing voice and plays the guitar. And asked me, said, "Would you play it along with me?" And so I said, "Send me a version. Let me hear you do it in the key," because she tunes her guitar to a 432 frequency, which is different than 444, which is a very powerful difference in the music industry. So I had to hear her and how she played. So I did, and then I recorded myself playing along with her to make it look like we were playing together. But she asked to do all this, and you guys asked, the day before the 36-hour thing went live. And I was in the middle of so many edits and stuff. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, okay, let's do it. So that's what happened.
I love it. And this, guys, when you have people that are purpose driven and into it with their hearts, I mean, this is what a community is all about. And you can find a way to make it happen. And the whole idea of the Tour of Love show is for all of you out there. And here is the song.
Together we are stronger than sadness. Together we are stronger than cancer. Together we are stronger. to change the world with our hearts. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. Human hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Human hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Human hope, hearts, hearts, love, love, love. Human hope, hearts, hearts, love. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are one, we are love, we are hope, we are the ones to change the world with our hearts. We are the ones to change the world with our hearts.
Beautiful. And the frequency, Juju was explaining the frequency of that song and of her guitar has a healing modality to it, right? It's a healing frequency.
It is. Long ago, I don't remember the dates, but there was it was earlier in last century. The frequency was changed for a lot of music into a 440 frequency hertz versus 432. And however, a lot of producers still produce. A lot of Bob Marley, a lot of famous people still played in that frequency, because if you just play that frequency like on a salt plate and look at the vibration, it makes a beautiful pattern. It's a very healing pattern. Even if you listen to crystal bowls like Shelley does.
Shelley, yeah,
does on some of her programs. You know that if you listen to a 432 frequency bowl and a 440 bowl, you'll hear a big difference. You'll feel a difference because the frequency resonates with us on a very healing level, and so a lot of people go back to the original 432 tuning, which we did. That was actually the first time I've used it, and now I'm using it more and more and trying to tune all my instruments and even software programs. And I even have an app on my phone where I can listen to songs and then run it through that app and it adjusts it down into that frequency. So it's a very this whole frequency world of what we are learning. And what we're about to see, I think, in this coming year is going to blow people's minds, and it's very exciting.
Very exciting. And so, and I will say, Carol, you really, and here, pick your vibe: higher, more magical; lower, weaker, and suffering. And this is one of your images, Poe. And Carol, you really, like when we're in the closed group, you really are into, okay, I'm feeling right now this song or feeling that song, because you're feeling the energy being a senior ambassador of our organization and of the buddies and understanding where they're at with their needs, because we have them from everywhere, from that they've just heard that maybe a family member or themselves, they've been first diagnosed, or they may be retesting, or someone may have gained their wings, or they may have that lower frequency right now that they're sliding and they're going down and they're afraid, or they're elated because they have gotten that miraculous report that no evidence of cancer, stage 4, all of the above. And you seem to be really tapped in to the frequency of the group. And then you're able to say, okay, we need to listen to this one of the contributor songs or one of the original songs that we have created within the organization, right?
Yes. What my favorite song? I mean, no offense. Oh, I love your song,
Oh, no.
but Keith Leon's song really resonates with me because I want people to be able to believe in themselves. I want people to receive the love that's coming to them through the group. And for me, it was really hard. I'm a giver. I'll give you my heart. I'll give you my shirt. But I really had a hard time receiving from people. So with listening to these songs that everybody has done, it's gave me that frequency to say to people, hey, you know what? Go look at the happy memories, the happy things that are happening in your life, and work with that and listen to the song and what the song brings to your heart. And this one here is I'm learning to receive from people now. I'm learning to believe in myself now, more confidence in myself. And I love music. I'll blare my stereo when I'm in the car by myself, and one song will hit me. And it was actually funny. I was telling Tamara the other day, is there was a thing that came on the radio that said, what's one thing that you can take from 2020? It's going to make a difference for you in 2021. And I was like, wow. And I sat in my car and I was listening to the music, and then I started thinking. So I came home and I started writing things down that would make a difference for me. And that's stop being hard on myself, and letting things go. And yes, I was in the closed group, did a chat. Yeah, it was okay. Was it my best? No. Did it bother me? No. Did I let it bother me? No. I let it go. And that's the thing that we have to let people know, is that things that show up in your life, they're there for a moment, and then you need to let it go. And these songs, people really have to sit and they really have to open up their ears and just listen to the words, because the words are powerful.
Yeah. And I love it too. Together we are unstoppable is what Beverly is sharing. Beverly, one of our contributors, someone that has come in and taught us and is a part of our organization. Thank you, Beverly, for being here and for what you do with with virtual reality and everything. Very interesting stuff. Love it. And we've got Madeline. Madeline, also another one of our supporters, educators, singers. I mean, amazing talent, beautiful. Love your heart, and it's very important. Yes, love it, Carol. Being easier on ourselves. Words are power. So as we, start to round this up, you're going to be coming back, right? Now that you're feeling better.
Yep, I'm back. I'm, doing some things healthy wise. My daughter, everybody's on me saying, you need to, do this and do that. So I've got to be accountable. So I'm stepping into it. So you'll see me back some more than I had to kind of step away for a while. So thrilled to be a part, and I sure miss everybody.
Well, everybody misses you. And guys, isn't it exciting that those of you that may not know, I do have something here just to share with you, that every single night we do have a chat. Every single night we get together. So here you go. So we want to officially welcome those of you that need the love, the tour of love. This is the tour of love, and it is about raising the frequency and the lessons that we have shared, the love that we have shared. All of this is just a glimpse into what we do every single evening at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. And it's pretty exciting, right? I'm going to throw it out to both of you guys. What do you think about what we do in that group?
I'd just like to say thank you, and it's great to be back, and thank you, Carol, for all you do. You really mean so much, and your empathy for everyone and your compassion and your love for everyone is very powerful. So thank you. And so, really what I'd like to jump and just say, with this coming days and this year to look at those little steps that can raise you up that scale of gratitude, no matter what fear or what news or what you hear. Look at the things that you can be connect with: nature, music, art, like we were talking about, to make that shift. And so I'm thrilled to be back in the loop, and it was a beautiful program today, Tamara. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And Carol, what do you want to say about what it is that we're doing and inviting people to be a part of it?
Well, I want to thank Skip just now for your kind words. I love the chats. It helps everybody with, powerful messages. It's very educational on certain days. We have fun days, which is nice. We have game nights. I love it. I'm not the pro at it. Don't say it. But, it's a lot of laughter and it's a lot of healing in there. We have humor, and we have moments that we, stop the program to talk to people if they're having, bad days. So make sure you bring your full box of Kleenex, because you'll need it sometimes. I always come into my room and I never have Kleenex in here. And I'm like, again, here we go. So this time I make sure that I bring a box with me. But honestly, it's amazing. I love it. It gets the buddies out there interacting with each other. What can I say? It's been great since we opened up the chats every night.
Well, thank you for both of you being on the Tour of Love public show. Here we go. Tour of Love Sunday show. We are here every Sunday, and we encourage you. And if you need a mug, we have them at the CB4L store. Yes, it supports the cause. And yes, we would love to have you check it out. There's plenty of really cool images, and every single penny that it supports what we are doing for the buddies. So we will be back next week, Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Until then, see you guys in the chat. Bye, everyone.
Bye.